of all, I appreciate you for this conclave and particularly on fertility. And the first question is a very apt question because as gynecologist, as sonologist, I have experienced patients suffering from infertility for quite a long time, and to break the barriers to reach to a consultant, it needs great efforts in a country like India. And particularly even though they are affordable and even they are affluent and even they are educated, it is a hindrance for them. But when I say this, a balance if you take, even these type of people are having so much of restrictions to reach the fertility clinic, then think about our women who are in the villages, who are in the poor families, who are in the marginalized families, and who are uneducated, whose dreams are same. To get a baby, the dream is same by the affluent women, educated women, and our poor and marginalized women also. So there should be a level playing field. So we have to reach out them. First, whether all the other patients, all the other treatment, patients reach the doctors. But here, it is our responsibility. We have to reach the needy people. So by education, by extending our helping hand and making them aware of the treatment. Only one thing, because I have met and dealt with patients like this, getting a treatment for infertility, they feel very shy. And we have to tell them it is one of drawback, because like insulin is not secreted, so we are getting diabetes like that. There are some small setups in your setbacks in your body, so it could be corrected. So that mindset should be there. And another thing, the women at the younger age itself, before marriage itself, they should be aware of all these things. So that if they find any delay in their conception, immediately they can reach out. So in multiple various factors act on it, and we have to find it out, and as I said, we have to reach the public. You are very correct. Whenever a patient comes and sits in front of us in the consultation room, man will be very carefree. He thinks he doesn't have any problem, and there won't be any problem with with him, and everything is with the wife only. But most of the, as it is said nowadays, 50% of the cause of infertility is from man. And another thing, when they disclose that, they feel that male factor itself tarnished, and they have to face the society in a very depressed way. So women can face, but when it is a male factor, even her wife won't disclose it. That is the beauty of our Indian women. And testing them, to accept them to go for investigation itself very difficult. If you ask a woman to go for hormonal assay and for follicular monitoring, immediately she will get up and she will accept and she will follow the procedures. But for a man, to make him, for even sperm analysis, to get it done, it is a most difficult job, not only by the doctors but by the family also. The wife should convince him, and he should accept it, and he should get the investigations done. So the male factor also, because always this is the fingers are pointed towards female. So it's high time we have to think about the male factors and educate them and reach out them, and there should be special forums for them to educate them. So that we have to, and there should be a clear understanding between wife and the female should be more cautious, and she has to extend more affectionate towards him to get things done. It's not easy. Even now it's not easy. Yeah, definitely, because of cost factor and reaching out and accessibility. Affordability and accessibility, only the government setup or only the professionals cannot do. We need multifaceted approach. For example, technological approach is needed, then affordability should be there, and some enhancing hands should be there, and all these should be there. So more support is needed, and even the friendship between the other families and get together, and advertisements particularly, and getting mobile units to the villages. These all private public partnership only can help individual, because of the cost factor. Individuals cannot do it much better. The healthcare women leadership is evolving, but it's not adequate, because we are 50% women, approximately now 60 to 70 crore are women. But for that, proportionately, how many women doctors are there, how many women professionals are there, exclusively for women, because staff nurses are there, technologists are there, technicians are there, but exclusively to look after women health, we need more support. And we have to accept that the women reaching the hospital is more restricted. We cannot take a data from the outpatient department saying that this is the ratio of women affected by these diseases, this is the ratio of the men, because women reaching the hospital, it is itself difficult even in this era. And another thing I want to tell, women should have the mindset. They themselves have to have the mindset. They think even though there is some ailment in the family, they immediately want to go to a specialist. But if they have any symptoms, they go to the kitchen, they take some asafoetida, some pepper, and they finish off the treatment there itself. They are more careless. And particularly when we rising incidence of breast cancer and cervical cancer, the whole family should take care of her. So that is the message I want to tell. And women leadership, all the women should encourage. And even now, the family should encourage the women to lead in the health sector, and the society should encourage the women to lead in the health sector. And what all the support she need, that should be given by the society, by the family. If you ask a question, whether it is in the army, whether in the police, whether in the social setup or the administration, top list should be in the top rank should be the health sector, where women should be there, because women have the capacity to influence others, women have the capacity to support them, women have the capacity to educate them and emotionally attach. So women leadership is more needed in the health sector because of the emotional attachment and their capability of reaching out people. Actually, I appreciate ET Health, this health conclave, fertility conclave, health summit, fourth summit it is. It is not only the people to be educated, even the consultant to be educated. Because we all know, I always say, all the governments are coming with health kits, first semester, second semester. But nutrition should be taken care in the preconceptional stage. So these type of awareness, even some of the gynecologists are not aware. Only after pregnancy is identified and diagnosed, they tell, no, you have to take some nutritional food and all these things. The preconceptional stage, because most of the brain development, most of the organ development actually starts well ahead. So we are very particular about that. Even doctors, when I say this to gynecologists, they are not aware. And when they attend the conclaves like this, the need for assisted technology, for example, ultrasound at the earlier stage, and what all the support, and when they hear the experience of the successful practitioners, they also think that this can be practiced in our practice, because everyone are not aware of everything, and everyone, so many of them would have attended international conferences and they project their views here. So the youngsters attending this conclave can gain the material from here and they can practice. So it is highly educative and it is more concerned. And another thing, subjects like this, because myocardial infarction now everyone know, stroke nowadays everyone know, even renal patients nowadays know, fertility, and it is family oriented. When we talk about fertility, it is interlinked with the each and every day family life and family emotions, and not talked about more. Even in gynecology, we talk about pregnancy and we about obstetrics and gynecology. Fertility as subspecialty, I always say it's not subspecialty, it's a super specialty. So these conclaves. Medicine is education, and continuous education will help the practitioner to be more efficient. So this efficiency is given by such conclaves. So really I appreciate Economic Times for taking this very delicate topic. So and very emotionally attached topic.